Welcome aboard. This is Striker, and today we're going to be going after an SA-6 site. So the SA-6 is site is sitting in this little clearing. You can see we have their search track radar, some support vehicles, some SHORAD vehicles, and the TELs, the transporter erector launcher vehicles. So we're going to be pushing into there and trying to take them out. So it's not just the SA-6 we need to worry about. We have this SA-8 Gecko sitting there looking for me, wanting to shoot me out of the sky. So we're going to have to go in there kind of low and avoid getting plunked out of the sky by these guys, right? So it should be pretty straightforward, but as you can see, we've got a lot of vehicles kind of in the tree line, further back in the forest, so it can be a little bit of a tricky thing to pick out if we were going to rely on the FLIR. So today I'm thinking let's make use of that radar, the big radar that's in the Strike Eagle, and pull up a high-resolution map. So we're at the end of the runway here at Kiruna in Sweden. This is on the Kola map, and let's get this thing in the sky so we can go and take out those enemy SAM sites. All right, as we're picking up speed here from that takeoff, so we're on the Burning Skies U.S. Command Center server, currently on the Kola map. Actually, just as a heads up, we've got the next map in rotation is going to be Sinai. And I guess Chaz, the guy who runs the server, has put a lot of effort into tuning that map in terms of enemies, so it should be a fun challenge, and he's been making a lot of really cool improvements. So maybe I'll get in a video talking about that soon. We're going to bank over this way, and there's a friendly transport aircraft up in the sky there. I got to make sure I don't run into this guy while he's maneuvering to get into the airport. Once we get up to speed here, we're going to start our climb up and push towards the target. Now, thankfully, the target's not too far away. It's about 57 miles. I have a target point set in the vicinity, and that's really important when you're using the high-resolution map because it has to grab the elevation for the target data that you're doing. It doesn't know otherwise what the elevation is going to be, right? So today's a typical loadout that I have. It's 3 CBU-97s, which is what I'm going to be using to attack that site. I'm going to do a loft attack, and hopefully those will take everything out. In addition to that, I have 4 GBU-12. Those are the 500-pound laser-guided bombs. And I also have 3 of the 2,000-pound JDAMs. My intent was to use those JDAMs to take out some of the enemy structures in the area. There's a command center and a communications tower and some other stuff in the area that I'd like to take out. But first I have to deal with this SA-6 site because if I'm flying around at altitude in the region, then I'm going to get shot at by that SA-6. So once I saw that, that was in the area, I figured, well, I'll try and take that out first. So we can kind of see the vehicles off in the distance, little hot spots, but they're way too far away to be able to make out what they are. Which ones are the radar? And so we're going to get a little closer and get down lower and take our offset so that we can use that high-resolution map radar to take a look. And I love using this, especially when I'm going up against enemy SAMs, because it will point out where those emitters are for their radar, and they just stand out like a sore thumb, as you'll see. I was wondering why I wasn't seeing it pop up on the high-resolution map radar, and then I realized I have it set to 20 miles, so I need to increase the distance. Don't worry, I'll clue in a minute. There we go. Hey, there we are. So I'm going to take an offset to the right, and then stabilize at around 17,000 feet above ground. There we go. Okay, that was the 1.3. Now let's get down to 0.67 map. Boom. Freeze that map, and then we're going to pull away, so we don't keep getting closer and getting inside the engagement zone of that SA-6. You see those two horizontal smudges? Those are two enemy search radars. I'd imagine one of them is the actual SA-6 search track radar, and the other one would be, it could be that SA-8. There was also a AAA type of vehicle over there as well with radar, so it might have been one of those. Just hopping on the packs page here, making sure I have it set. I decided I was going to do bombs on target, so the first one I release is going to hit at the designation spot, and then the second one and third one will spread further down the line. So now we have our target designated. We're going to begin our ingress. We want to get down nice and low. Take advantage of all these low hills in the area. So I have one target designated. That's going to be my primary one. And then I'm just going to set a mark point on that other one. And one thing I did wrong here is I should have figured out what angle, or sorry, what heading I should be using to attack that target to get the spread of the CBU-97s across all of the vehicles. So next time I'm going to work on doing that. Strike Eagle is not yet complete in terms of features. There's according to Notso, and it makes sense, there's ways that you will be able to make use of that heading to give you some heading indications on the HUD in terms of getting that attack heading that you want.
Low altitude, low altitude.
Turn off that low altitude warning, otherwise that's all we're going to be hearing. So what I do is I keep the targeting pod on the target, and that way I can use it to see if I'm getting masked by hills, right? Because if I can't see the target, all I see is a hill, then I know I'm getting masked. Now I can see there's a hill that kind of goes off to the right of that target. You know, try and make sure I get over to make use of that, then I'll start turning towards the target. There we go. So we got some hills in between. It's looking good. Now I realized I didn't set the attack, the loft. I didn't enable that, so silly me, right? There we go. We get that T pull on the lower right corner of the HUD. And then we'll get that horizontal indicator on the HUD, and then at 4 seconds, once the T-pull reaches 4, it starts the climb up You're following the line indicator. There we go. Pulling on the tickle button, pulling up. Lease cue's coming down. Boom, boom, boom. Away they go. Break off and start dumping countermeasures. I'm getting locked up by that SA6 and SA8 and maybe even that AAA. Start pulling away and maneuvering. Get down. Get those hills in between me. Make my escape. See how those 97s are doing. Boom. Oh, nice. That chime means I've met my mission goal in terms of the number of enemy ground vehicles being destroyed. So I figure I'll pop up and see if that SA6 is dead. You can see there in that picture-in-picture, it's still spinning, and I'm getting indications on the cues that there's an SA6 radar out there still, so I don't know if I got all the tells, all the launchers. I'm getting locked up. See in the FLIR, lots of burning vehicles over there, but I can't make out, can't make out if I have any SAMs over there though. Now ideally there's no launchers and I'm just getting the radar lock and I can roll on in with some laser guided bombs and take the rest out. What I'm going to have to do is maybe I'll use the high resolution map, take another scan of the area to see if, so I can try and get where the radars are. So I got to push out away from the target and get out to around 20 miles away, and then I'll turn back towards it. And then I'll try to get a map. All right, I'm scanning. Yeah, get a launch. Yeah, look at that. We can see where it's coming. Get a FLIR on that. I got my map. Gonna freeze it, and we'll evade these missiles. Yeah, those launchers were in the forest.
Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Okay, and then we'll see if I can pick out where, which of those, where the radar is.
Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Okay, with the gain a bit. It's hard to tell because it kind of looked like there were two. You can see the one on the left pretty clear, but on the right, what is that? I can't tell if that's another radar or not. So let's get target on one. I'm going to use my JDAMs for these. I have two on each wing, or one on each wing, so I'll push the target to one, and I'm going to push over to that right one in case that's a radar as well. It's hard to tell. And we'll drop a target point on that and push that onto the second JDAM. I think between the two of those, we'll take out everything in between them. All right, so we're good to go with the JDAMs. We're going to do another low-level ingress and loft these. Now, with these, there's no pull-up indicator. You just need to kind of eyeball it You know, Natso made a couple of videos about lofting, and one of them was around JDAMs. He did the 500s and the 2,000 pound JDAMs to kind of give you a sense of how far from the target you need to be. But I've always had good success with these. Now, I was going to go down this river. I figure I can stay down low at the river. I won't get picked up by the enemy radar. But guess what? Yeah, they saw me coming. Rado's sending 2 missiles my way. So, going down the river, I guess there wasn't enough intervening terrain to mask me, so get over behind this hill over here. That one just up there. Let's have a look at the map. Yeah, it's no help. So I figure I'll put this in between me and come in again, but try to use, use the eyeballs and to see where those hills are and where the target is. So if I can get the nose pointed more towards the target, I'll be able to see in the FLIR or in the HUD where the target is, and then I can kind of start to see if there's any hills around. I can see the smoke in the distance. And look at those hills off to the, just to the left. I need to push over that way a bit more. And then we should be good. Yeah. There we go. But it's really desperate. I could have maneuvered to get that larger hill that you see on the right.
Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Got around over there, but these low ones seem pretty good. Yeah, see that hill right there? All right, there. Now the target's behind it. You can see in the FLIR that I'm currently masked behind it, so that should be good. Getting a little nervous with the clear view in there, but look at that in the FLIR. It's behind hills, so I think we're good. It's on the other side of that hill off in the distance. Yeah, we're nice and close. This is it. Start our pull up here. Figuring out which way I'm going to exit. We'll bank right. And 2 away. Bank right. And let's get out of there. Done some countermeasures. Thankfully, I was not locked, so that it takes time for the launch after acquisition, and I got more than enough time to get away. Nothing coming after me. Not sure what the enemy disposition is around here, so need to kind of keep jinking around a bit. Let's watch these JDAMs, right? So you see I put the target point on 2 returns. There's 1, boom. There's that radar. So right next to each of them. Wasn't spot on, but the 2,000 pounds took care of them. And look at that, we got a guy in between them as well. The JDAM sandwich. So we got one guy in the forest that I would not have been able to see. And then the radar, which was sitting out in that clearing. So we got them all. No more, I'm not getting any more lockups from that area. I don't see any radar on the twos. So I can push in closer and start trying to take the rest out with my GBU 12s. And then I have one more 2,000 pound JDAM, which I'd like to try and use on an enemy command center that's not too far away from here. Which was kind of what my original intended primary target was, but... So we see that smoldering vehicle. Now in DCS, typically that means that it's damaged but not destroyed. And we have a couple other hot spots down there, and I thought, well, maybe, I wonder if those are vehicles as well. So maybe I'll try and drop on one of them. There we go. It's designated area track. We're lined up. Seat release is ticking down. All right, weapon away. Bank off to the side. Get that pod looking out to the left, and we'll track that on in. Now I realize, I think that might be just some damaged vehicle. So I want to go after that smoldering one because I'm pretty sure that's just damaged, right? Again, just based on how DCS works. I wasn't sure if I moved it enough. So from my perspective, I wasn't sure if it tracked all the way in. Did it land close to it? I didn't get a destroyed message, so it's still smoldering. There we have some other SA-8s in the area. Need to maintain my altitude so I don't get shot at by them. So I'm going to try this again because I think maybe I missed that. Again, from my perspective. On the picture-in-picture you saw it was a good hit. Let's try this again. Weapon release. Bank away to the left. So if nothing else, this is good target practice, hitting the same spot. So spoiler alert, well, it's not really much of a spoiler because you already know I'm attacking a dead vehicle over and over here. Alright, that was a direct hit. Still no message, so I'm convinced that it's dead and I was just attacking a dead horse. Alright, so I'm going to pull up the Intel menu. I'm going to try and find some available targets and attack those. So we'll designate a group. That looks good. And then let's get some red smoke on it. So we can head towards the target and easily find it. No. That's not it. So I was going to cut this out because this is embarrassing, attacking the same target 3 times in a row. But, hey, it's good for a laugh, right? All right, take a hint. It's dead. It's dead, Jim. Why don't you look for that red smoke? All right, there it is in the distance. Let's go after that. Because you know what's there? An actual target. Yeah, I think there might be one vehicle somewhere down there, but I think I got them all. Pretty sure I did. We got that red smoke on a vehicle over there, kind of in that clearing.
F-15 War Child, radio check.
That's a good check.
Thank you, sir.
Once again, watch my altitude. I'm getting a little too low. So once I get locked like that, I just need to climb up, and then once the lock drops, you know you're at a good altitude. So let's get my last laser-guided bomb onto this guy. Like it, because you can always tell once the seeker starts seeing the laser, because it just does that wobble right there. It's like, oh, there it is. Look at that. Shack. Now look at this little guy. That truck. He's like, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to go park beside this flaming wreckage. Let me back it up there. There we go. Nothing to see here. I'm just flaming wreckage. I don't think it was that smart, but it was funny. All right, so that was the last laser-guided bomb. So I pushed towards the target area where this command center is. Look at it. It's in the middle of the forest. So it's really hard to see. But thankfully, I had a precise fix on it, so let's get this guy targeted and get this JDAM on it. And it's away. So now I'm going to key in my waypoint to take me back to Kiruna. That's the airbase I took off from. And let this JDAM track its way in. Hopefully it takes out that base. And it's headed in there. I actually like they do like a shockwave now that pushes all the trees back. I mean, it's not an essential thing, but it's kind of a cool thing to see. So watch when this hits. Watch those trees. Oh. That's just cool. It's neat. All right. Well, that was it for those targets. So I took out the SA-6 site, and I got one of my intended primary targets. That was that command bunker. Let's get back into base. So here we are approaching Kiruna. I'm doing a low-level, high-speed pass. Just because. Gotta have some fun, right? That flight back's kind of a quiet one. So when I get back here, I like to blast on past and then kind of pull a big turn to get lined up with the runway. So after I go past with afterburners and everything, I'll turn into my brake here, and then I cut back to idle. It bleeds the airspeed down. Ideally, what I want to do is wind up aligned with the runway, so I'm flying directly over it, at around between 1,600 and 1,800 feet, and targeting 300 knots airspeed, which I think we're doing well here. One thing this does is it gives me enough time in pattern to get clearance to land. We're looking good, so we'll hit that brake into the downwind leg. Take on a reciprocal heading from the runway. Try to maintain our altitude and drop the gear and flaps. A little bit further from the runway than I'd like to be. So this is going to be it as we come around into this break. I'd like to take this opportunity to once again thank you for watching this video, taking your time. Hopefully it was enjoyable, entertaining, and what I like to do is I like to learn from these. So hopefully it kind of showed you some of the do's and maybe some don'ts of how to do these low-level loft attacks. I finally figured out what I need to do to get string those CBUs across most of the targets.
Altitude, low altitude, low altitude, low altitude.
So I'm going to try that next time. Probably won't be the next video, but next low-level attack I do, I'm going to try and take some of the lessons learned from this and apply them. Nice and smooth. Look at that. So thank you. Take care, and I will see you out there. Hopefully you're enjoying your time in DCS. That Kiowa Warrior just dropped the other day, so I know people are excited about it. I think I'll wind up grabbing it at some point. I'll see you later.